Hi, everybody. Welcome to Vibe Time with Jerry. We got about 4 minutes until showtime. Got John Stevens on tonight. And then next week I have David Flowers. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully we don't have any internet problems because everybody in the house has had internet problems but me. So hopefully we don't have any issues with that. I want to welcome everybody that's tuning in live on Facebook Live. We're just waiting for Blog Talk. So, and John Stevens. Let me see if I can see the chat. Okay. Can somebody type in somewhere so I can see what's going on with the chat, please? Or do I got to go somewhere else? Let me think. Because I don't know. You can see that in the chat or not? Okay. I can see it now. All right. Got about 3 minutes left. All right. Hi, everybody. Can somebody post a comment somewhere so I can see if this stuff is working like it's supposed to be? Please. If you love me, you'll do it. Make sure all this stuff is muted. Holly Mullins needs to come back on my show with my hair. I'm trying to... The camera when you're doing these shows, when you're doing the show, it's like backwards. So you think you're over here, like I'm actually pointing to my left, but everything is backwards on this camera. It's so annoying.
2 minutes until showtime.
Oh my gosh, what a day it has been. It has been a day. John Stevens and I are going to have fun. And unfortunately, Ryan and the Freaking Awesome Show, everybody's sick over there, so I hope that they all feel better. I'm sorry. It's really going around. You know, take your vitamin D, take your vitamin C, zinc, get some of Kimberly's help me out. Holly Mullins makes it too. Okay, see, I see you here. Dave Flowers, I can see you, but I should be able to see you in the comments part of my stream, and I can't, and it's so annoying. Like, I should be able to see the comments of what y'all are doing.
1 minute until showtime.
Instead of way down here, and I can't see Jack Skippy. All right, let me go. All right, so everything's working fine. I'm supposed to be able to see. Let me look at this. I am supposed to be able to click on here, click under comments, and I'm supposed to be able to see all y'all's comments without having to go like on my phone to look at the comments. I should be able to see them all down here, and I can't see the chat or anything, so it's really getting on my nerves. All right. And then I've got everything backwards. So I really have to pay attention here. I'm normally more organized than this. I got my mind on other stuff.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds.
Oh, crap.
4, 3,
Live.
2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Now I have to remember to unmute everything. Hello, everybody. This is my favorite scarf, y'all. I love this thing. Has all the sharper colors in it and it's polka dots. And you know, I don't really like polka dots, but I like this scarf. Is it going to be the short version or the long version? Dang it, it's the short version. Okay, hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm unmuted. I want to welcome everybody to Vibe Time with Geri, not just on Vibe Radio Network, but also Facebook Live and StreamYard and wherever else I got things going on. So tonight I have John Stevens on hold. I'll take him off of mute in a minute. John Stevens, y'all see us in pictures a lot. We're both paranormal investigators, but John Stevens, he has his own Virginia Paranormal Events page, but he also has his own website, which is www.virginiaparanormalevents.com, which gives you all the latest paranormal events in the area in Virginia, all over the place. Hi, Debbie. I'm trying to multitask here, so because I'm going between. Okay, StreamYard, cell phone, landline. Yes, I still have one of those. So I'm trying to go between three things. But anyway, after the show, we were Culpeper Paranormal was supposed to come on with the freaking awesome show, but unfortunately, Ryan, Angie, and everybody in his house is sick, so they are not able to. They're not doing their show tonight. So, with that being said, let me go ahead. Oh, wait. One more thing. David Flowers will be on my show next week. So make sure you tune into that because we're going to be talking paranormal, but we're also going to be talking about David Flowers' new book that he's just written. Welcome to the world of paranormal investigators. So we're going to have fun with that book and we're going to have fun talking about it. And then the week after that, the very first week in February, I have Kimberly Ashbury Moxley coming on the show because we are going to be talking about not just old house wood stuff. We haven't been out there in a while, but we're also going to be talking about her party that she's going to be having at the Heiko house. So y'all, that's kind of X-rated. Make sure this is an adult party. So just make sure that you don't have kids with that one. I've been getting all the goodies on the messages, so that's perfect. All right, let me shut up and let me go get John Stevens. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
It is so freaking good to see everyone in the chat and you on StreamYard, and I still can't figure out how to do all of that, but I got to give a quick shout out. So the VirginiaParanormalEvents.com website is run by the other half of my team.
Okay.
Watt, he's up in Columbus, Ohio. So I called Jeff to find out what our weather is going to be like here in Virginia, because usually they're a couple of days ahead of us.
Excuse me.
But David Flowers has got to follow this next week, and he's only got me one up because he's written a damn book, and it's damn good.
It is, isn't it?
I get one, and you got to get him to sign it for you.
Yep.
And I've been telling everybody I can about it, and I've been showing everybody how he put me in it and all this stuff, and I've just been like a kid in a candy store.
You know what it is, and you know, I know people like probably David Flowers didn't think anything of it. I don't know if he did or not. It's a big deal to be named in somebody's book.
Yeah.
I mean, it really, really is. It's an honor for one. It really is, and it is a big deal.
And you know what? Cool. Even if David had not written that book,
Yep.
just the fact that we're good friends and able to go to a place like location and be able to investigate there with him.
Right.
And seeing so many. I kind of miss the days when you would go there on Saturday night during the summer, and it'd be like 35 people doing this tour.
Right.
And it was so cool to see people for the very first time kind of get a feel for what it is to be a paranormal investigator.
Mm-hmm.
And David has to take a lot of credit for that because he explains it very well to people that have never done it or don't know how to use the equipment, or they know what they know by watching it on TV, and that's fine. But they don't understand that, hey, they're lucky enough to be in a haunted location like the Manor House there, and they can also experience being a paranormal investigator too.
Right. Right.
So, and also I want to shout out to Ryan and his family if they're listening.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're going through, brother, and it'll get better. And hope you bounce back stronger next week. I was really looking forward to hearing Culpeper. They're really good friends of mine up in Culpeper, Virginia. Culpeper Paranormal. They just do wonderful things. They're wonderful people. Kim Lillard and Paul Shields and Amy and the whole group. They're just I can't say enough about them. And if you've never been up to the Graffiti House or up at Brady Station, it's just a great place to visit. I just love Culpeper. It is a great place.
I've been to Culpeper. I've driven through it a couple times. I have not actually stopped there. I think, wait a minute, I stopped there one time, but that was just to kind of look at a map of where I was going, because I think at the time I was lost. But it's really a really nice area, and I know a couple people, when I worked probation, that other probation officers that were out in Culpeper that were really nice, and I just never have made it out there.
It's a very historic town. Got a great little old downtown to it,
Mm-hmm.
and there are a lot of deep stops and everything like that. But if you want to visit the history, the historical locations such as the battlefield there at Brandy Station, there are places on there you can investigate, and I've done that a few times. But I highly recommend, if someone's never done this, you will be freaking amazed if you go to the Graffiti House. And the Graffiti House was used for many things over the years. But during the Civil War, it was a hospital and things like that. And there were people there that started writing on the wall. And a lot of this was unknown until the house was, I believe, about ready to collapse during the 60s, 70s, 80s, in that time frame. And they discovered behind the plaster all of this stuff that these soldiers had written all over the wall. And so not only is it historically great because they tell stories and they sign their names, and you can see certain people who came through, and they drew pictures, and there's so much. So there's multiple floors, and you can go and see each of the rooms. Each of the rooms has its own drawing. Smithsonian has come, and they had a great write-up about it and really studied it hard. And it is really quite an historical gold mine that is unlike anywhere else in this country. And to to see it all written down, like that all over the wall. The place is also for paranormal people. It's got a little spookiness to it, and we've investigated there before. Got some great EVPs. Oh my gosh. Paul Shields and I were down in one of the rooms, and we got some direct responses. Something about we were asking a question, how did you get here? And the response was by horseback. You know, we got that on an EVP, so it was a direct response to the question. And we had a blast, so I can't say enough about all of that.
Gotcha.
But there's a lot of things coming up. And you know what? I miss everyone that it's been so long since we've done some investigations with, you know, back Halloween, and we did a little bit in November, and even less in December. It's time for spring to get here. It's time for the paranormal spring to get here. And let's change off this winter that wants to hold us down and keep us hiding in a house somewhere, or just, you know, whatever. Maybe the virus is keeping you hidden. Let's at some point, let's hope that we're gonna battle this and get over it, and we're gonna get back to investigating multiple places every freaking weekend. We're going somewhere. You know, that's got to be the mindset.
Yep. It is, and it's too cold.
I don't know what's worse, investigating in the cold or investigating like I did this summer, where there were a lot of locations where I had to change shirts because they were soaking wet. Very, very hot summer, and it's hot in some of these places, and it's just, you know, you gotta love it, but you know, sometimes investigating in August or July can be pretty bad.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know it's either too hot, you know, and then get tore up by mosquitoes, or it's been too cold. Like, I want to go back to Old House Woods, but it has been biting cold. I mean, cold.
Yeah, you know, we got to get back there, and we got to, you know, there's a whole list of places. I get excited about the places I haven't been to as well.
Yeah, I've got some places that I still want to go. Like, I still want to go to Belgrove. We need to plan that. But good gosh, from what I can see, it seems like January and February are some pretty cold months here. I want to at least go where I can enjoy it.
Right. Belgrove is going to be a great place to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, probably, you know, that's a great place to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
Probably when it's a little bit colder. I've been there during the summer, and sometimes in some of the buildings outside, it's going to get pretty hot.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm just talking about like where it's not biting cold, where you walk outside and, you know, you got to bundle up really well, because if you don't, you'll get sick. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't go to Old House Woods right now. I'm sure I'm not going to speak for Kimberly, but I know I wouldn't go right at this moment. It's, you know,
right.
It's bone chilling cold.
It is. We have to. You'll have to keep me updated on who's in the chat and things like that. A lot of times I can't see that sort of thing. And
yeah, I'm looking at it. I've got just people saying that it's hard for them to keep up right now with things because a lot of people's internet is screwing up. I know mine did before I got on here, so hopefully I'll be able to maintain internet because it wasn't working properly before I came on, but I only had like 3 minutes and it wasn't long enough to reset everything and fix it. So hopefully it'll be okay.
Yeah.
So I think last time it went out, I ended up having to go off the hotspot. So hopefully I won't have to get in there and do all that crap.
Well, before I lost I'm trying to run two different things here. I saw that Debbie had joined us, and Dave Flowers, and Kim, and
Yep.
your sister Tina.
Tina Wiener.
Still...
She's on. Tina's on call in. But I can't see the 5 people that are viewing. So, but I know that there's people there, and I know my sister had to end up calling in because she was losing internet. So, but she's on. She's listening via phone.
But there's a couple of events this weekend. There's the Tennessee Rape Chasers are going to be Haunted Nights is putting on an event down in St. Albans, which is in Radford, Virginia, which is down near Blacksburg, and that is a Saturday night investigation. I'm not sure if it's sold out or not. There may still be a couple of tickets available for that. I'm hoping I can go. I've got my ticket. But as you know, fear of a snowstorm.
Yep.
And I hate to say it, and I just before I got on here, I was checking with a couple of reliable sources that I have, and it has changed from earlier today. So there's a possibility that it'll change again, but now they had talked about Thursday being a kind of a rain to snow event for most of Central and Eastern Virginia.
Gotcha.
And now they are talking about it being more snow than what they had originally thought. But the biggest is possibly Friday into Saturday, where they're talking about the whole state, and actually could be a lot worse than what we had this past weekend.
Well, I would like to know who's sending all the snow. Like, who is on here, like, wishing snow upon us? Because I just don't like it. Which one of y'all snow bunnies casted a spell out there for more snow? Somebody did it. I want to know who it is.
Well, I like springtime. I like warmer weather.
Yeah.
Because you can get out and do stuff. I don't mind looking at the snow, but it's pretty much like, who's going to get out and who wants to drive it?
Right. And that's the bummer right there, is people having to drive in that crap, because most people in Virginia don't know how to drive in it. They don't.
I don't know if there's even a way you can get good. I mean, I've driven in it all my life, and a lot of it just has to do with the type of vehicle you have,
right?
And what type of tires you got,
right?
All that kind of helps. But there are people that go entirely too fast.
Yes.
And they end up in the ditch. I've seen them in front of me do it.
Right.
And I've seen people almost too cautious, where they cause people to kind of come up on behind them. And then it's like, I don't even have my foot on the gas, and you're slowing down even more, and I don't know if I hit my brake, you're going to cause me to wreck or hit you, or something like that. So it can be frustrating out there, but the real enemy is the weather.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I don't like the snow. My sister likes the snow. I think I'm going to fire her.
it keeps me from going this weekend. I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I have to be at the
I'm not gonna
museum.
I just won't take a chance, with putting a car in a ditch,
Right.
going through that whole thing.
Right.
But there is another big event, and it's the Hannibal Paracon, which is going on Friday, Saturday. I believe there may be tickets left
This weekend?
Friday. They've got a lot of things going on. So there's the normal Paracon.
Okay.
We'll have a lot of vendors that during the day on Saturday. But
Okay.
Friday night, they're going to have an investigation. I believe a dinner and an investigation. And then
Okay.
Saturday is Paracon, and then Saturday night, there's another investigation. So you can buy the regular general admission tickets to the Paracon on Saturday.
Okay.
They have speakers all day from like 11 to 6. And then the investigation is at Saturday night is going to be, an additional charge.
Gotcha.
So,
Well, I wanted to tell you real quick who's tuning in. So I've got John Savage. He's out of Fort Monroe. I don't know if you've met him. Him and his wife Anita. They're really nice people. They investigate out there because they're lucky they live out there. It's such a beautiful place to live at. And then I have Sherry Sumner. Sorry, she's out of state. She's tuning in. Of course, Kimberly's tuning in. Tina's tuning in, but she had to call. She had to end up calling in. And I think I have Ashley and Karen. I've got quite a few people, but if y'all have questions, feel free to ask too. And then let's see, I can see one person that looks like a spammer, but they're actually on my computer. We'll see. I'm not sure. They're Greek. Hopefully that's not spam. Nothing against Greeks, but it's all written in Greek, so we'll see. I don't know who that is.
yeah.
Don't be doing no spammy stuff.
All that kind of crap gets on my nerves big time.
Yeah.
When you have a Facebook page, many of y'all know this.
Oh my goodness, I got Steve White too.
I tried not to put too many regulations on trying to join like my page.
Right.
You have to do what you got to do, but I make it pretty easy to join my page. But the thing is so many times I've gotten where I've had to remove people or something like that because they just end up in troublemakers. Either they're trying to push products or do something stupid, and you just end up having to. It ruins it for everybody.
It does, and I just noticed on the on my StreamYard, like with people like this, I got friends that are Greek and can read Greek. So I'm going to find out from my girlfriend what this says. But anyway, I can actually block a user and I can put him in timeout too. I didn't know I could do that on here. I can put somebody in timeout. Who do I want to put in timeout today? I wish Facebook had that option.
The thing is y'all know that follow my page or come to my page.
Oh yeah.
I promote it.
Yeah.
I'm just letting people know what's going on in the state of Virginia.
Yes, you are.
Off of anything. I have to buy tickets just like everybody else. I don't get any free cuts. Thankful for those that do kind of, every once in a while do throw something my way. I'm not asking for it, believe me. I do it more so for myself to have a place where I can keep track of everything that's going on.
Right.
I also want people in Virginia to know what's going on. It's also given me an opportunity to meet some wonderful people. And we have a lot in common other than paranormal. So that's great too. And to see so many people at events and say, "Oh man, I know you." You know, they might not know me, but I might recognize their name. Or
Right.
that and it's really cool.
It is. It is.
And then ends up being normal Facebook friends. You know,
Right.
You find out you have a lot more in common. You know, I'm not trying to keep people from my page. It's just that people will make you take them off. You know.
Well, yeah, and not only that, it's almost like people have nothing better to do with their time. David Flowers said that he's been trying to contact you about your extended car warranty.
That's him.
Yeah, that's what I was sitting here laughing about because I looked at that comment and I about died. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and then Steve White was like, David, me and you better be careful. She might put us in timeout. I have a timeout button. Hello, Michelle. How are you? Oh,
I thought they had a great answer the other day. One of the paranormal pages had put a question about if money was no object and you could investigate anywhere, where would you do it? And he named a place that I thought would be a great place to visit anyway. And he mentioned Normandy, you know, like because of World War II, and Normandy Beach would be an excellent place to be able to investigate. Other people, somebody said the White House. That would be pretty cool too.
I said Alaska because it's very haunted and a lot of people that go there don't come back. Plus there's UFOs, Northern Lights, and Bigfoot. So that was, I mean, it's cold, but I have snow boots and I have plastic bags. I think I would be okay.
And this is way off topic, but I love Savannah's hat that she got that has the Bigfoot on it.
Yes. She didn't get me one. She bought one for herself, but failed and neglected to get me one so that we could be matching friends. Now I have to go get one.
Oh. Well, I will say that she makes it look a lot better than I would ever make it look. It looks really good on her.
It really does. Yeah. She's ready. She's ready to go investigate Bigfoot. I'm with her. Let's go. Who else is in?
I am too. But I'm not a camping guy. So, people that want to go check out Bigfoot, you go right ahead in the woods.
I bought some bionic ears, so maybe if we go out in the woods, we could hear them.
That's the perfect segue to the June 18th Virginia Bigfoot Conference.
You hearing this, Sherry?
Waynesboro.
There's a Bigfoot conference. There's Sherry said that she's in with us as far as Bigfoot. So that there's a conference. There's a Bigfoot conference. Who's going?
Oh yeah. So this is not like the first time. I mean, this happens every year. This is like third or fourth year in a row that we've done this. And I will say this. So you don't have to believe in Bigfoot. You will have a good time.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Where's that at? Is that in Virginia?
Yeah. So
yeah.
It's going to be in Waynesboro, Virginia. Virginia this year at the Holiday Inn.
You got all that?
And
Okay.
if you plan on staying the night, like going down the night before or whatever, I'm not sure if it's a 2-day event this year,
Okay.
but the hotel has a deal going on. However, so I'll backtrack. So I've been each year that they've had it. They've had a different location each year. They've had some really good speakers from world-renowned speakers come to this thing. And I think it gets better. And our friends with Haunted Night Paranormal, Lot, Brandon Johnson, were at one of the vendor tables last year at the Bigfoot Virginia Bigfoot conference, and Laws ended up saving the day because a lot of people needed a video presentation when they got up to get their speech or whatever topic it was. And Lyle, who lived really close by, went home and got his big 65-inch screen TV and brought it, his sound system, and he saved the day for the conference. And then he helped Daniel Benoit, who is the guy that puts it all together. He got with him this year and helped him set up and go and find a good location for it in Waynesboro. The Bigfoot conferences that go around the country, there's a few of them that are really big time. There's the International Bigfoot Conference, which is usually out in Oregon or Washington State. Well, this year it's in Utah.
Nice.
And that's the biggest conference there is. But another big one that I've been to multiple times is the Ohio State Bigfoot Conference, which is in the eastern part of Ohio, in Cambridge, Ohio, at Salt Fork Lodge State Park.
Gotcha.
Salt Fork State Park. And it's at the lodge there, which is a beautiful, beautiful place. They also have some big-time speakers. When I say big-time speakers, they'll have some people that are on there from some of the TV shows. One of the biggest ones is Dr. Jeff Meldrum, who is the college professor out of Idaho State University, who is great to listen to because he goes into like footprint analysis and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets real scientific, but he's able to explain it to people like me to help me understand that Bigfoot exists, and he can prove it by some of the casts that he's seen and some of the video he's seen, and because he studies the way apes walk and things like that.
Sherry said that Bigfoot was in her backyard under how many feet of snow?
That's true. He's probably always lurking.
Probably. I say we pull out the bionic ears.
But, so those are a couple of the bigger conferences. Smoky Mountain Conference this year is in July, and that's in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Gotcha.
So if anyone, I think I might actually be going to that this year. I'll
Nice.
take a road trip. So the Virginia one is not as big as those, but it's a pretty good event. And I'll just say this. So Lyle and I were talking last year, and also he had a mini Virginia Bigfoot conference in October or September this past year. And they had a big turnout for that. conferences, and they wish they could have the crowds that have come out to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is. It's pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah. Steve White said just in Virginia alone, there have been over 50 reported. In West Virginia, I'm sorry, just in West Virginia alone, there's been over 50 reported Bigfoot sightings.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because I've never seen one, and I don't know if most people will ever see one. It's sort of like this. So if you have 20 million acres of land,
Mm-hmm.
and you have 100 Bigfoot species on 20 million acres of land, you could literally never see them.
True.
For years. I mean, it would 1,000 years of searching for them, you would never find them. And but first of all, they don't want to be found.
Yeah.
They don't want to be seen, and they're
Yeah.
pretty good at hiding.
Yeah. Sherry said probably not a good idea to see one up close. True.
Right. And and people have got to look at it this way. So you want to make fun of it, and I understand that because it is something that we have made lots of movies about, and they've been kind of stupid, things like that.
Right.
But just consider, sometimes you just have to think outside the box just a little bit. But just consider how unimaginable this is, what I'm about to say. That the panda bear was only discovered and seen for the very first time in 1920. And that it wasn't until the 40s that one was actually captured.
Nice. Well, yeah.
And actually put
Excuse me.
into a zoo. Now, they had 1,000-year record of seeing a fluffy animal with black spots around its eyes, or white, I can't remember which it is.
Right.
And they knew where
Excuse
they
me.
were being seen. Because there's a small forest of a bamboo forest, and that's where all the pandas live, in the wild. And it's not that big of a forest. And the Chinese writing and in Chinese oral history, they knew that there was a lot of accounts written about the panda bear.
Right.
Okay, but no one had ever seen them, so it was all fictitious. It was all a made-up story. But yet you had it in all these writings and things like that. So finally, someone sees one, and they're made up to be crazy. No, you didn't see that.
True.
And then someone, they weren't finding them dead anywhere. They knew exactly where they were, like where the forest is. We're talking about a small area, and they still couldn't find them. They went looking for them and still couldn't find them.
Right.
And then one is finally found and captured, and they had to explain to them, like how a creature they had always heard about existed, but they could never find.
Right.
And they actively searched for it for years. So,
Well, I mean, think about the amount of amount of different. Hello, John Sullivan. Think about the different amount of things that animals, creatures, or whatever that are out there that we haven't seen yet or don't know that's out there. There's so much. There's so much of the unknown, even in the
Yeah.
ocean, that we haven't discovered.
Right. So we can, I mean, literally could go on, all day about creatures
Bigfoot.
that haven't been discovered or are still being, we discover new creatures every day.
Yeah.
We're talking about a big beast. Bigfoot is going to be big, but maybe there's just not many of them. And if they are in the upper northern, most of them in the northern part of the country or even in Canada, and you're talking about billions of uninhabited farms.
Right.
You're not going to find them. You're not going to go in there looking for them and expect to find them.
No, but it would be creepy if you just went frolicking in the woods one day and ran into one.
I have two accounts. So the first one is from a forest ranger who worked out in Oregon, and there was a logging road that led up to a mountain path, and people take this logging road usually as far as they can take it to go hiking and then to go camping. But at some point the road ends. But you have to go by the guard at the front of the park. You have to go by the guard gate, and that forest ranger. He told them, and he tells them that be careful because we have bears and we have wild animals and cougars and things like that.
And Bigfoots.
Everybody suggests we understand. We understand that. And then he goes, but we also have Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bigfoots.
And he was just as scary.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's coming from someone who regularly encounters this. And then the other thing is, you were talking about in the state of Virginia. I won't mention any names, and I won't mention the company, but out in the western part of our state, we have power plants. And I have a friend of mine that does work out in the wild. I'll just put it that way. He's a botanist.
He's a what?
And sometimes he gets stuck. He's a botanist.
Okay. That's what I thought you said.
Things. But he had to go and work with this company out here, this power plant. And this company, if you're going to work on their property, they make you take a safety class. So when he went to do that, they were saying, like, don't leave any food or anything in your car while on the property at night. And don't, just be careful because we have Bigfoot. And everybody's just like laughing and stuff like that. And he goes, no, I'm serious. Because we have Bigfoot. And then he proceeded to show a video of one of these big dumpster, they're a lot larger than what we have. Dumpster was 60 feet high.
Oh, wow.
The door on it can only be lifted by machine. And you see the dumpster lid is flung open, and you see two hands from the other side go in, and then the dumpster closes back. And he goes, that's not a bear. And so just to warn you be too heavy. And we've seen him on video multiple times. Now, because this is a major corporation in Virginia, they're not going to allow that to ever come out.
Of course not.
But in the safety meeting he had to go through, they told him Bigfoot is alive and well in the western part of the state. And my friend believes in Bigfoot. But it was actually terrifying to him to hear that because they were dead serious. So, is there anybody, I want to know, is there anybody in the chat that is going to any event coming up, or if you want me to promote your event, if I haven't already, if there's someplace you're going, please let us know so that we can talk about it.
Well,
You mentioned John Sullivan earlier.
right.
The lockdown coming up in February, right? And I've got some of these dates rolling through my head.
He'll put John Sullivan, put those lockdown dates in the comments. I know I seen something on that and I can't remember. And of course, the Manor House too. John Stephen shit. David Flowers does his tours right now every Saturday starting at 8:00. That's $15 for the Manor House out in Williamsburg, Virginia.
Yeah, Powhatan Plantation.
Yeah. So he does his.
And you don't have to stay at the plantation on the property. You don't have to stay on the hotel or the timeshare. You can go and just investigate. But you do have to call the
Activities desk.
What do they call it?
Activities desk.
The activities desk.
I got it right for once.
Put your name on it. Right, and then go pay.
Yep.
But if you go and you buy the book, he'll sign it for you.
Yes.
Oh,
I swear I'm going to get it just like that. Yes, he will sign it for you. He's ready to sign books, y'all. I was supposed to actually, a couple of my friends locally had purchased his book, and I was supposed to bring them, but they couldn't get me the book in time. So now I got to turn around and somehow meet with them, and I've got to have them get it there so that he can sign them. You got book signings to do. You know what? You should just have a book signing, don't you think? All right.
I think
He just needs to do like a little book signing party.
Yeah. What David needs to do is he needs to get a table at one of these Paracons and just sign the book.
Oh, that would be a no. Are you kidding me? It would really put it out there. He just does not know. You just do not know the social media promotion part.
Well, Geri, there is a friend of ours who happily likes to promote her book.
Yes.
All the time, no matter where we're at.
Yep.
And we will see her.
David Flowers, you got this, buddy. I got your back. Yeah. Yeah, you can do this. John Sullivan did put a link in for y'all. So that talks about the Bell Grove Plantation event. Let me go in here. Yeah, I think, oh shoot, it won't let me click. Let me try this way. We'll get it. But yeah, I mean, you really should. I mean, you worked hard. It doesn't, I mean, you can't, some people, you can't just like It's not every day people write a book. So you want to really, put it out there and do a book signing. And he's right. We have a person in common that we know that they don't hesitate putting their book out there at all and signing it and promoting it all over the place. Hell, if they were able to do it at the Manor House, they would. Let me shut up. You're going to get me in trouble, John Stevens. A paranormal lockdown event at Belgrove Plantation in King George, Virginia. I'm trying to click on the link and it's not letting me. But anyway, John Sullivan put that in the link, y'all. So check it out. It's a lockdown weekend.
Sullivan just, can he put the dates in there at least? Because they.
Can you put the dates in there? I'm trying to click on it. It wouldn't let me click on it. And it's not you. It's probably because I'm running 3 different pieces of equipment at one time. Yeah, John Sullivan said, David, you should be a vendor at.
Yeah, the EnigmaCon.
Thank you.
April.
Don't fire me. John Stevens announced it for me. It's perfect. Yeah. What John Sullivan said you should do. Make your little table out there. Put some equipment out there. It'd be perfect. Put the little dowsing rods out there. You want me to go and do it? I will go and promote it. I will go. But see, I can't sign your name. That's the problem. You can get pictures with people in your book.
Who will have their table selling their book.
Oh, yeah, we know. We definitely know. Self-promoting. I got that Manor House covered like the back of my hand. You go and enjoy your thing at St. Albans. See, I got all covered. You're good. I'm David Flowers' little promotion person. We got it pegged.
You know what? I would go and do the tours for David if he needed a stand-in.
Yeah, see? It's all covered.
I would even say, and if you, my name is John Stevens, but if you didn't like this event, just put your name as
David Flowers.
If you just said David Flowers, I would say that at the very end, like he does.
Yeah, at his tours. Yep. See, it's all covered. You got it pegged. John Stevens would be really good at giving the history there too. So, and then I would help John Stevens, and then you just go promote your book. See, it always works out.
I want to see hands be raised for everyone who's been sick lately. Because this damn virus has been going through like wildfire across the state. It has affected everybody.
Yeah, I have been very fortunate where everybody else around me has caught that, but I have not. But I've been taking Kimberly's fire cider stuff that she makes, and so I think that is one of the reasons why my sister has been sick. My mom has whatever it is going on. My stepdad has whatever is going on. My kids had it. So I've just been very, very lucky.
Well, I will say this. Regardless of your stance on the vaccine or not, if this helps people that haven't gotten vaccinated, there are people that I know that have been vaccinated and the booster and have not.
Yeah, my brother's family did. John, 1 second. John Sullivan said he'd like to come this Saturday to the Manor House. I guess that's cool with David Flowers as long as it ain't snowing its butt off. I think that, y'all should message each other and yeah, get all that set up. That would be great. But it's, to my understanding, it's supposed to be a pretty messy weekend. So hopefully, and we definitely don't want you out on I 64, I 95, 295, or none of those. Because remember last time, John Sullivan, you were the one that got stuck in that traffic jam.
Oh yeah.
I remember that. I felt sorry for you, buddy. I really did.
I'm so done over this weather.
Yeah.
And when it starts to interfere with things I want to do,
yeah,
I don't have much faith for it.
Right. Well, like tomorrow, I have to. Well, I'm going to go meet Carrie from Crop, and I'm picking up a little doggy for Kimberly's, and we have to get it all done before the snow. So I was going to keep it for myself, but Kimberly knew that I was getting it. So now Moo Moo is hers. But John Sullivan said that was crazy with that traffic jam, because I know he was in it.
Yeah, was he in the one on 95, or was he in somewhere else?
No, he was in the 95 one, right, John? If I remember correctly, he was on the 95 one. Yep.
I thought he was helping someone, and he ended up getting stuck because of that or something.
Yeah. I think that's what happened. He'll tell us in the comments. But yeah, I think that is what happened. Yeah, trying to be nice and then getting stuck.
The moral of the story is
let people stay in the snow.
you need to be well prepared.
Yeah.
I've got usually a trunk full of all kinds of supplies.
Yeah.
Typically during the summer, it's all ghost hunting supplies, so that would be good. But I've got a new piece of equipment that's coming my way.
Oh, do you really?
That I can't. Yeah.
You're not going to tell me what it is, are you?
I'm not going to tell until it gets here, and I've actually have a chance to use it. But it's the hottest thing. It's the hottest, latest thing.
Nice.
So anybody that stays on top of ghost hunting stuff and the latest gadgets.
That would be John Savage. He has a lot of the latest gadgets, and so does oh my gosh, she's gonna kill me. She's from New Jersey. I can't think of her name right now. She's going to be so mad at me, and I'm not intentionally. I'm drawing a blank, but you have not met her yet. She's a really nice lady, Maggie. Maggie Dunn. She's not in the state of Virginia, but she will come over here and investigate. Like, if I need a stand-in person and she's not able to, or somebody stands me up and they're not able to do it, she would come out here. She said she's really sweet. She has all the latest equipment. I mean, all of it. Between her and John Savage, we were covered. John Sullivan said he was trying to be nice to somebody and they left him in the ditch.
See, that sounds like my second wife.
You did not.
No, but
only John Stevens.
Do we have to be all here at 9 since Brian's not going to be here?
Brian, no, I'm still good because Ryan's not feeling well, so we're still good.
All right. Well,
not unless you need to go night or something.
Well, I will have to go here soon.
Okay.
Now, so I will say this. So if you haven't got the virus, you probably will. Okay, this is my this is gonna be my Christmas gift to everyone. So I don't know what to say to keep from getting it. You can be a hermit and stay away from people like I do, and you still get it. You can still be vaccinated and still get it. I don't know. If and I don't get political on my page, or I don't get political with most people.
Yeah, I stay away from that crap.
This thing is no longer political. What it is, I'm not the kind that says you have to get this, because I believe people have a right to put whatever they want into their body. If they think it's going to help them, great. It may help them. I'm not sure.
Right.
But if you still got polio after you got the polio vaccine, would you be kind of pissed? And there are a lot of people that have gotten 3 shots.
Yeah.
And have still gotten sick.
Yep, that's true.
Convince that person that they need to get more shots. And then when I hear that at some point you've taken too many shots and your immune system is shot.
Yeah.
And that you have no more immune system. So those are all things. Hey, I'm not being political. I'm just.
No, I know you're not. Because I'd have to mute you. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
If you get the booster and it helps you from, you still get it, but maybe not as bad, then that's good. I don't know what else to say. I mean,
right.
But I will say this. This is a little bit different this time around than what we had with Delta and the other one.
Yeah.
This one is a lot more contagious in the air. Okay, so you can literally not be near anybody, but still catch it. And I don't even know how I caught it.
Yeah, that's what my mom said. She doesn't know how she could have caught that. But I, went and dropped her stuff off yesterday, dropped my sister off some stuff. So far, I'm good to go. But like I said, I've been double dosing on vitamin D, hitting the dose of vitamin C, taking Kimberly's witchery brew, and I have been good so far and have not caught that crap. Using neti pot. There's all kinds of little things I do. I have my nose inhaler that keeps your nose and chest very clean. So I just inhale that all day, and I've been okay. Hope it stays that way.
I was taking all the powerful vitamins before I caught it.
Yeah.
And
and colloidal silver.
So I know some people that have gotten it that are a lot worse than I got. Now
Yeah.
I'm still after this Friday will be 3 weeks.
Ugh.
And I still have some sinus issues and things like that. I still have a hard time smelling and tasting. But that has not returned.
Yeah, I hope you get better. That's terrible.
I had a lot of flu-like symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
I felt really awful for 2 or 3 days, and then I just had major congestion and sinus headache.
Oh, terrible.
It still pops up every once in a while.
You need to get one of those nose stuffy thingies. Do you have one?
I've got. So I went out and I bought some a nose thing. You pour this. It's this concoction and it flushes your nasal cavity out.
Are you talking about a neti pot?
Sort of, yeah, like a nasal bath, and it flushes it out, and so it helps.
Yeah, but you need that. You need that.
Something
You need that nose shovey thingy that you shove up your nose. You know what I'm talking about? That little stick that you see is shoved up my nose all the time, because that that breaks up all the congestion in your chest and it clears your nose. Just saying.
for the now, like my brother, he got it, and he's had a lot more of the cough. It was in his chest, so he still coughing after 3 weeks, and
You put it up your nose and you huff it.
most everybody I see that has cold-like symptoms going on right now, you probably got the virus. Now,
Amazon.
It's important
That.
that you're going to do a home test to know that when you start when you have your first sign of symptoms, like you have a headache or you
Amazon.
or whatever, you will have to wait at least 2 full days
Yeah.
before you test yourself.
Yeah, I've taken so many of those tests, it's not even funny. Like now they're giving out free tests.
Yeah, I got my 4th test coming. I've got I tested twice at home, and it was negative both times. They did send one off, and when I had to go back to the doctor again, I tested positive at my doctor, and then when I got home, one of the tests that I had taken 4 days earlier came back positive, so I actually found out for sure I was positive 4 days prior to that.
Yeah.
So,
I have a conspiracy theory about those new tests, but I'm going to keep my lips zipped because it's going to open up an entire can of worms, so I'm not going to say a word.
you know, I don't have a problem with the ones that people have to send off. I just wish they would come back sooner than the ones that are so instant. You know, but I knew this lady this week that had she had been involved with my daughter's high school and the athletics there for a long time. She got sick around the holidays. She passed away.
Oh.
She's younger, but she does have health issues.
Right.
So she was overweight. She had diabetes. She had
I'm overweight.
some things. You know, she was 50.
I'm 51.
And I'm not so sure she was vaccinated, but I think it really affects people that have certain things like age and weight and other health issues. You might feel like you're healthy, but if you have diabetes or if you have high blood pressure, if you're severely overweight, you're going to struggle more than the person that is perfectly fit. And that's the thing we can't change that overnight.
Nope.
But that's that's why a lot of times I'm like, we're vaccinating all these young people who never get sick.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. And then some people, they're constantly getting sick, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, so I'm hoping I get a lot of these natural antibodies from having my system fight this off, so that when the next round comes along, I'll have something to fight it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, you know, that's why I feel for Ryan and them. If you imagine that you want to go and do something and you can't because you're not feeling well.
Right.
The other thing is some of these events have a lot of people show up there, and if it's 40 people, let's say, that are in a tight packed room going to, for an investigation, there's going to be several people there that are positive.
Mm-hmm.
They may not even know it. They may not have any symptoms. And either one, you've had the virus and your body will fight it off, or two, you're going to get the virus.
Right. Right. And see, that's some of the things that I struggle with as a person that supposedly has it and not showing any symptoms. I'm sorry, I'm not wrapping my head around that very well. Because I don't know how I could not have symptoms of something, but have something. And I'm just struggling with that part of it.
Yeah, there's perfect.
Because if that's the case, then you got to live in fear all the time. And I refuse to do that.
Right. And you have you see it every week. Professional football players.
Yeah.
That's positive, and they can't play the game because they're positive.
Right. Right. I got to change the subject. I got to change our subject for 1 minute because I've got Sherry, who is a little new to the show as far as tuning in, and she is from out of state. She lives out of state, and her question was, if we do paranormal investigations, where can people join you? Is that what the Manor House is? So we do the best thing to do is go on virginiaparanormalevents.com, www.virginiaparanormalevents.com, or John Stevens Virginia Paranormal Events page. And that's going to list all the different paranormal events in Virginia. So John Stevens goes on goes to different paranormal events, and so do I. The Manor House is one specific place that John Stevens and I go together when we investigate. So David Flowers does a tour there. He gives you the history of the house. And then he has equipment also, and he explains that equipment as he's going through his tour. And then when he's done, you're allowed to borrow his equipment and do your own investigation at the Manor House. And that tour is like $15. So I'm sorry I had to explain that because I forget sometimes that we have people that have not tuned in and they don't understand some of the stuff that we're talking about. I forget that sometimes. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, I'm glad you did that because Gary's no different than what I get a lot of times on my page.
Mm-hmm.
Is people are very inquisitive, like they want to know where to go,
right,
what to do. Everybody starts off at some place or some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For me, it was I liked doing ghost tours. I thought they were really cool. I did one in Williamsburg, and I did one. A couple other places, and I thought it was good. And then found out that they were doing an investigation at the Exchange Hotel in Gordonsville.
Right.
And you could go and do an investigation. Well, what was that? What do you do? Well, the description was that you would go
Right.
6 hours of it, and also being
Nice.
in an historic place late at night or overnight was even better. Being there at dark, instead of always having to leave when it's still light outside.
Right.
Never being able to be in these places dark is pretty cool. And then one of the very first places I got to go to was the Manor House. And it's just been one place after the other that I've had a chance, and it's just the look. I don't change, and the people that I'm with don't change, and the methods don't change, and the equipment doesn't change.
Right.
The location changes.
Now Sherry said she'll be back in Wake, Virginia soon. So is that like closer to where I live? Because we can always go together to the Manor House. I don't have a problem. I always tell people if they're ever going to go to the Manor House, let me know and I'll meet them up there and do the tour with them. So, hi Fredericksburg Paranormal Research and Investigations by Deltaville. Okay, so you're not far from me at all. What, 25 minutes? I'm in Urbana, so it's perfect. So see, you can always ride with me and we can go together and go to the Manor House. It's $15. And it's really neat when you get to go on some of these investigations too, because a lot of the investigators, they have allowed people to use their equipment also, which is really nice. I know Crop, when we have events at the Cabin on 360, Dennis Eslock always brings his equipment. Crystal always brings her equipment. I bring my equipment. But Dennis has so much equipment, we don't have to really worry about equipment, but he's always nice and allows people to use his equipment. So, it's nice when you can get on either on a tour or sign up for an investigation that does that. Because not everybody has equipment and not everybody can afford equipment. It's expensive.
It is very expensive, but
Yeah.
I will say this.
We will do that, Sherry.
You can use your phone as a recorder.
Yeah, that's true.
And you take pictures with the phone.
Right.
And you can take video with your phone.
Right. And David Flowers, as he puts it all the time too, basic equipment, flashlight. It's just that more than one is recommended. A lot of people do flashlight sessions, but they, recommend that you, use at least more than one flashlight. And like you said, your recorder on your phone, that's basic equipment. Just the recorder on your phone and alone.
Right. I've captured EVPs on my phone.
Oh, I have too.
So, as a recorder, it can be a great recorder.
Yeah.
And one of the easiest things you can do when you're investigating, everybody does this, and everybody loves to do it. And it's the simplest way of finding out whether or not you have contact with a spirit, or if you're in a location where there may be spirits involved, is you can do a question and answer session where you ask like 3 or 4 questions, and then pause in between each one, give it 30 seconds in between each question, and then play it back.
Right.
And you will be amazed, what you hear sometimes, that you do get responses.
Right. And I've got Fredericksburg Paranormal Research. I don't know who the person is behind it. It's just their title. They don't use their phone for EVPs. But that's, that person's choice. Sometimes people can't even, unfortunately, go out and get a recorder. So I use my body cam more than I use my phone as a recorder, but sometimes people, they just sometimes are financially strapped. So,
Yeah, yeah, and
because it,
you can, and and sometimes I put this on the page, and I guess I need to do more of this type of stuff. Is you can find really good recorders.
mm-hmm.
Like the very first recorder I bought was an Olympus. I still have it.
Yeah.
Little handheld, little tiny, it's a great recorder.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's got a USB connector to it.
Nice.
And when I was through, I could plug it right into my computer or laptop, and it would transfer all the files off of it, and then it would free up all the space.
Yeah.
But that Olympus only cost like $39.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got an Olympus. I've got 2 or 3 recorders, but I did get. I mean, I was in Urbana one time. Victor and I was just taking a walk, and it was in the middle of summertime, and all I had on me was my phone recorder. And when I walked past this particular building, I felt that there was an energy there. I felt the need that I needed to stop. And so I did. So I just sat at the picnic table in front of Marshall's drugstore. I know that John Stevens knows where that's at. There's little tables and chairs that she has set up in front of her pharmacy, and I just sat there and I used the recorder in my phone, on my phone. Sorry, not in my phone, on my phone. And when I hit record, I had asked if there was anybody with us. And at first I didn't hear anything, but then you could hear a faint voice say, "It's cold." And it was a little girl, and it was at the stairwell where I felt the energy at. And, so I've caught some with my phone, and I try to keep my phone out of my hand. I don't hold it when I'm recording. I actually put it down. Same thing with my body cam now. I try to keep that down too. That way I know that my hand isn't interfering with anything on that recorder, like brushing up against it, or my hand, you're standing there. So, but I think it's all in a person's personal preference.
More than record. You have your body cam going. A lot of times you have your body cam going just constant.
Yeah.
And then you have your other recorder recording, stopping and starting a lot.
Yeah.
Your body cam is continuous.
Right.
So in case you miss something, and believe me, you caught some stuff on the body cam that I was thinking back on a couple of months ago when you had that really good EVP, when David was doing his tour and we were in that room.
Yes.
Talking and it was like a conversation going on. And we were all there, but we didn't hear anything.
Right.
All of a sudden, we played that back, like, oh my God.
Right.
That was crazy.
Right. And that's why I always tell people, even, like, it doesn't matter where I go, even doing Reiki today and doing I did a Reiki this afternoon, and there wasn't a lot of spirit that stepped out with that. One did, two. But just because, like in a paranormal investigation, just because they're not messing with the equipment doesn't mean they're not there, because they are there. David Flowers is the perfect example. I'm hoping my body cam picked it up. I put my body cam in the room where the big Christmas tree is. Well, David Flowers was doing his talk in the foyer part, and he was talking about the Lady Mary that was in the house, and in the room where the fireplace is, where the gentleman's room is, that little cigar room in the back or whatever. Anyway, the chandelier in there was flickering. It was the only lights that flickered as he was talking about the Lady Mary. So I'm hoping that at least my body cam picked up the flickering part, because I had taken it off and put it on a mantle to see if I could get something different. But the lights flickered. Last time I was there and I was talking to him, we were just everything was ended. He was packing up his stuff. We were getting ready to leave, and something flew right in between us, and the chandelier started to move, and we don't know, what that was. So it's hard to say.
So you can have
Yeah.
recorders, but if you do, you can spend some money on some recorders.
Oh, heck yeah.
And you usually get what you pay for as well. So if you do have extra money, or if you kind of build up to getting something, and you've done your research, and there's a particular piece of equipment or recorder that you'd like to get, the better, the nicer.
Yeah.
You'll probably end up getting more things. That's gonna happen with whatever pieces of equipment. The better they are, the better
Yeah.
they're gonna work, and the more evidence you're gonna get.
Yeah. I like my task cam.
Yeah.
I like that too. You have a task cam too. John Sullivan said we do a lot of EVP work. You just never know what you will capture, which makes it exciting for me. It does for me too, because you don't know. And it goes back to when people watch a lot of these shows, they're expecting things to move, pins to drop, stuff to happen, because they've seen that. And then when they get to a place and they're taking a tour and they're not seeing that, sometimes they get disappointed with it. But then, like I'm sure you have too, John, gotten home and you review your EVPs and, oh my gosh, you got stuff there. And then, people didn't see equipment lighting up or whatever. So they was disappointed, but yet you got this good piece of evidence on an EVP.
Yeah, I mean the millimeters and
Yeah.
A lot of the things that light up and stuff, they may or may not light up and stuff while you're getting other things like EVP.
Right.
So they're not always going to detect spirits being there, or whatever they can detect, energy and things. And certainly, a lot of times, those things will go off at the strangest time.
That happened at the Manor House, and I know that David Flowers, are you still on here? We were talking about this possibly not being paranormal, but the REM pod lit up out of nowhere, but wouldn't stop. But that happened to me, and it happened to me at the cabin on 360 in the basement too. It just would not stop, and I had to stop it. It just wouldn't stop. It didn't do anything. Hi. It didn't do anything the whole time. Just like the 360, same thing. It
Right.
wasn't doing anything. And then this guy was talking to the dowsing rods, or trying to get the dowsing rods to work. And as they were working, it was lighting up behind him on the table, in the round table room. That's the name of the one room upstairs. So it's just, I don't know. During the tours, John Sullivan said, you're right, during the tours at Belgrove, it's not active every night, but we usually get something through an EVP and some gear going off. Yeah.
Yeah, some nights it's absolutely off the chart.
Yeah.
You have some really crazy things happen as far as there's all kinds of equipment.
Right.
There are things that will, they put things in teddy bears.
Right. The Boo Bear.
To maybe attract
The doggy.
a
Yeah. Maggie Dunn has all that stuff. But
they have all kinds of that go off. That if it gets near it, it lights up. There's all kinds of tripwires
Yep.
and motion detector things,
Bet you
and
that's his new
all
tool.
those are when that stuff's going off, it's really cool.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to have much going,
Right.
but when that stuff's going off, not like Dr. Don had a good, cool video. He had got with his tripwire. That
I think I've
was,
seen that. Yeah.
10 feet long, and that thing is coming down the hall. I mean, it's like each light is lighting up in session.
Yeah.
And so that's really, really cool when that happens. I had the same thing happen with my my GS2, gadget that I put at the bottom of the caretaker's house, and it lights up when something enters its sphere, and it was blue, which means it's colder.
Mm-hmm.
And the blue dot was literally looked like it was coming down the steps.
Oh wow.
And so that was pretty amazing.
Right.
But there's nothing that's heart racing any quicker or any easier because it doesn't take any effort.
Right.
And do a burst session
Mm-hmm.
and ask a lot of questions and then just play back what you get. And then some of the responses are amazing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Sorry. John Sullivan said he remembered that particular incident that you're talking about. So is it safe for me to say don't underestimate the paranormal? Is that a safe thing to say just because you're going to a place and sometimes equipment isn't going off doesn't mean they're not there, and don't underestimate the paranormal world, spirit world.
Look, I have friends and I have family
Mm-hmm.
that like doing ghost tours and some paranormal things, but they get bored really easily.
Yeah.
And they are not in it like I'm in. And they haven't done it as much. And they feel like sometimes there's not a lot of stuff. Yeah, there might be an EVP or two through the whole night, through 6 hours of investigating, and it's not enough to bring them back.
Right.
And that's perfectly fine.
Right, and that's okay. But don't you think when you get the EVPs, like when I reviewed the body camera from the manor house, and we were at that round table, and that spirit came out and said something, or at the last one where I got another EVP at, it's exciting to me and creepy at the same time to know that there was something that was beside you that said what they said in the recorder. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've also got to be an active participant.
Yeah.
If you allow everybody else to do all the work, you're not going to be able to take credit
Right.
for capturing something.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean you have to have your own equipment. You can use somebody else's equipment.
Right.
But I've been with kids who have captured, I've shown them how to use stuff, and they've captured EVPs. They did it on their own, and they captured it, and then they're coming back the next time because now they're hooked.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go in, you don't even necessarily have to be skeptical. You just have to, participate. I mean,
Right.
you have to have an active role, or you won't come back.
Right.
But if you go and you're just like, I always think about this couple that came to the Kings Hotel one night in our group, and we were having a lot of stuff going on. But this guy with his wife, they were there because they found it interesting that these kind of things go on, that people actually go and investigate.
Right.
So what weirdos do kind of thing, you know? So they wanted to see what all the commotion was about. And they left like after the first hour-long session. You know, they had seen enough. They weren't going to participate. They, there were things that they couldn't explain, but it wasn't enough to bring them in. But they were skeptical from the get-go.
Right.
So they weren't going to be active participants, and they weren't going to get into it, and therefore they got bored with it pretty quick, and they'd much rather go home and get to bed early instead of stand out and investigate on Saturday night.
Right. Well, I mean, but we need our skeptics, though. I mean, I had a person today come in that didn't really believe in Reiki, and that's okay. You know, I'm okay with that.
I don't have,
It doesn't bother me.
I don't have problems. I'd rather. I know some people that are real skeptical, and
It's okay.
believe me, I respect their opinion.
Yep.
A lot from investigators. But I will say this: they are not closed-minded.
Right. I haven't met anybody like that yet.
There is no reason why they should even be going to these things if they're closed-minded.
Right.
If you're open-minded, but you happen to believe that there's an explanation behind it, that's one thing. But if you're totally closed-minded and you just, I can play EVPs for you all night long, and you're not gonna think any of it paranormal or exciting or different.
Right. I see what you mean. Yeah, that's true. But we still need our skeptics.
Yeah.
It's what makes it makes it interesting.
Yeah, I've known people that are skeptics, but they're really good investigators.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? The more that they do it, the more evidence that they gather, they end up formulating some really good ideas about things, and they're really good about knocking out all the things that could be causing what's happening.
Right.
They're the ones that are saying, "What, that person over there had their phone on."
Right.
Or, "Oh, no, I didn't do it." "Okay, well, turn your phone on and I'll show you." And then sure enough, it was somebody's phone was causing the thing to go on.
Yeah.
Hey, this skeptic just ended up being right. Not everything is paranormal.
That's right.
Darn.
You're absolutely right. I've been in the places there's nothing there. Nothing. And they're not all paranormal. You're absolutely right about that. And Sherry said open-minded and healthy skepticism balance, I would think, and that's true.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I will say this. I've learned some tricks that you can do to faith. So I didn't even believe that sort of thing was being done, but I found out that there are people that do that sort of thing.
Right.
Some people do it and they don't know they're doing it. So that's the part where a skeptic comes in and they're able to see all the different things that it could be causing it.
Right.
So
that's true.
So that makes sense.
Right.
Now I know why that is.
Right.
You can juice a room
Right.
They get no notoriety or screen time, and to make things happen so that they can move on to the next location, they will juice a room, take their walkie-talkie, press the buttons on the walkie-talkie. It doesn't make a sound, but it causes the equipment to go off.
Interesting.
They discovered that that's what a lot of cameramen were doing.
Oh, we need to have we have to have a show about that.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like, oh, so that kind of stuff does going. Well, I never thought that would take place.
Yeah. We're so naive when it comes to that kind of stuff.
But it's hard not to hear some EVPs and just have a good explanation for it.
Right.
That's what everybody around gets why.
Right. That's why I started taking some of my equipment and not putting it, just setting it down, putting it on a shelf and just leaving stuff instead of having it on my person or having something clipped to my shirt and just not touching it.
Right.
Putting
I forgot who it was that they talked about a body cam in particular. They went back and they were hearing all these sounds. But it sounded freaky, like it was they were convinced that it was a child that kept making these funny sounds.
Mm-hmm.
It ended up being how, when you heard it recorded, that's what it sounded like.
Right.
But what was happening was that the person, every time they moved their arm against their sleeve,
Right.
against their body, it was making this sound. Well, to hear it live, it sounded nothing like it was when it was recorded. It came across as being a totally different sound, and
Right.
it kind of sounded paranormal.
Right.
Very valid explanation for what was being recorded was simply someone's arm rubbing up against the side of their own body.
Right.
Making this sound.
That's why when I'm doing my body cam stuff too, I don't just send it to David Flowers. I send it to John Savage too, and they will download those and put them on, Audacity or whatever. I don't know what program John Savage uses, but and I have them break it down because I don't want to put something out there that is not a true EVP.
Yeah,
I don't.
When you go to Bill Grove or you have a chance to investigate with John Sullivan, he does.
I investigated with John Sullivan in the Pink Pearl. That's where I met him at.
Yeah, and some of them are really good that we've gotten at Bill Grove. That I've been there with him and experienced. It's just that we've had people there that are investigating for the very first time, and they, they're quiet.
Yeah.
It's not being. And then when he plays it back, and you get the deep voice or something like that come across. It's their look on their face is like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not that I was here when it happened, and I can attest that it's the truth. So brings you back, makes you want to go do it again.
Right. That's why I like the Manor House, because I like it when David Flowers puts his little S7 box up with a little speaker on it, and they actually talk through through the spirit box, and it's clear as a bell when they answer questions. It's so clear. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, but for the most part, it's been clear. Until something is there. That place is very active. They may not mess with the equipment all the time, but it's active. I would love to just stay the night there and see what happens. I think I'll hide myself in the upstairs.
Right, right.
It's a very active place, but that's what I think, is really cool and does keep people coming back. Don't underestimate it. There's nothing bad in there. I mean, there's nothing like he talks about in his tour all the time. There's nothing demonic there at all. But don't underestimate the manor house. You want to make sure that you're nice and grounded too. You don't want to go, to any of these places, Belgrove, Cabin on 360, Manor House, any of those places without grounding yourself, just going in la 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 like nothing could happen to you, because you just never know.
Yeah. You wouldn't want one of those big shadow figures that I saw down in the basement at the Brick Rancher.
Yeah.
Walk by you or attack you or something like that. Or pull on your hood or pull on your hair.
Yeah, I mean that's what you and I got the first time when we investigated, when we was over that Cabin on 360 in the basement. Something ran their finger up the back of my neck, something touched him, and I know that when you say something has happened, whether it's touching your neck, pulling your hoodie, or you seeing a dark figure, I know that is what you saw, because I know that you don't see that stuff very often. So when you saw that, then I know, hey, it's there.
Yeah, I'm not one to see a lot of stuff.
Nope.
A lot of times, I've got really good ears, and a lot of times I can hear stuff, but I'm also not a person that sees in other dimensions or anything like that, or sees other than with my bad vision where I have to wear glasses. I always have to make sure that when I see something out of the corner of my eye, a lot of times it's just the reflection of my glasses or something like that.
Yeah,
but
John.
I am aware that things can happen like that, because it has happened.
Right, and so in some of the other places, energies change. I mean, there's been times when I have Cabin on 360 been there. Everything feels light. It just feels very light there. And then there's other times that I've come there and it's very, very heavy, extremely heavy, and I'm like, okay, who brought this here? So the energy changes, and that's what I mean. You can't underestimate it. We know at the manor house, David says it all the time, that there's, nothing bad there. There's nothing demonic there, but sometimes you just never know, because you don't know what people bring with them either. You got people that have attachments, too. So you just never know. That's the thing. And that's why, people really need to ground themselves and just, take salt baths and stuff like that. I know a lot of people don't, they'll say, well, you're laying in your own dirt when you take a bath. But on the flip side of that, you need those salt baths to help ground and protect yourself with certain things. And they do work. When I had that attachment this past week, taking a salt bath made a big difference, and I probably would have been in the same condition had I not taken the salt bath. But a lot of people don't think to do stuff like that, and they don't really think to ground themselves before they go to a place either. And it's important.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is important to go ahead and just to cover yourself when you leave a location. Tell just that you're not allowed to come back with me, or do that sort
Mhm.
And also don't invite things to come in and
Yeah.
try to take you over.
Yeah. Oh my God, I have seen that time and time
Believe me,
again
there
with
are people
people.
that are like, yeah, you can come and take over my soul. You know, they're not maybe verbally saying that, but that's the way they're acting.
Yeah, I've had people say use my energy to, to communicate, and I just don't think that's a good idea. I think when I did Crossroads Thursday night, I can't remember the person's name, and I haven't been able to respond to them because I can't find the comment, but they said that they are a skeptic and they sit in a chair quite often and they want to allow spirit to use their energy because they don't believe that paranormal exists or that could happen. And in my head I'm like, that's not very smart to do something like that. Not at all. And how do you know that person hasn't been taken over already? You just never know when you have an attachment, and they will attach themselves to you and make you sick.
Yeah, I mean, there's no sense in trying to
Mm-mm.
invite something.
No, it's very serious. It's unfortunate some people, I'm not going to say all, it's unfortunate that some people don't take it seriously, but when they haven't met their match, they're not going to.
Well, this has been fun tonight. You've helped me get a lot of built up paranormal energy out. And if I get a chance to see anybody that has seen albums this weekend, or at the Paracon on Saturday
Okay.
at Hanover Courthouse,
Nice.
that's the big two events, I guess, going on this weekend. There's some other things coming up in February, and then they're going to start getting more regular.
Right.
Once you get into March and things like that, it gets things start to happen, and weather does affect some of these events. Last year we had COVID and everything else that kept shutting stuff down.
Right.
Hopefully that won't be the case this year, but
We'll see. Yep, only time will tell.
We need to also make sure that we're not having any bad weather.
Yeah. That's true. Hopefully not. But yeah, I didn't realize what time it is. Goodness gracious. It's past your bedtime.
We'll do this again in another few weeks, and
Yep.
hopefully I will have some good stories.
Yes.
And hopefully you will have some as well, and we can share our war story.
Yes, we will.
And hopefully I can get Bell Grove here soon, and also down to the Manor House.
Yep.
And various other places.
That's right.
So, well, it's been a pleasure.
Yes, I appreciate you coming on.
Tonight.
Thank you. Yep.
Want to see everybody again soon. So we'll get together as soon as this winter gets out of here.
Yep.
We'll all get together again.
Yes, most definitely.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.
All right. We'll see everybody. Thank y'all again.
Thank you. Night. All right. Let me see. I can end the episode. Boop. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I said end the episode. End it. Oh, there's a problem and it won't let me end. End. All right. So I'm still on StreamYard. I know that. I appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight to Vibe Time with Geri. I'm doing 2 different things. I'm running the switchboard, which I can get off of that switchboard now. And then I am on StreamYard. So I'm doing 2 different things. But I appreciate everybody on StreamYard, Facebook Live that tuned in tonight. I hope that y'all have a great night. Don't forget, David Flowers will be on next week, and we're going to be talking Manor House, but we're also going to be talking about, his book that he has recently written. Now, one thing, y'all, the book is at Barnes and Noble. It's at Barnes and Noble. It is on Amazon, and that is 15, right? And then if you go to the actual tour, he has books there too, and they're 10 at the tour. So, and you can get them signed. So just keep that in mind. So he'll be on the show next week so that we can talk about Welcome to the World of Paranormal Investigations. So that's going to be a really good show. And the Freaks will be back next week also. So that'll be at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But anyway, y'all have a great night. Again, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. David, I'll talk to you soon. And for the rest of y'all, John Sullivan, thank you. Sherry, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you'll get back here soon. John Covey, I appreciate it. John Savage, thank you for tuning in. Ronnie, I appreciate you. Fredericksburg Paranormal Research Investigations, thanks for tuning in. And if I'm missing people, my sister, thanks for calling in because she can't always get on the internet. She always has problems with that. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I know that there's a couple people, Steve White, Michelle. I appreciate y'all's support. And this person from Greece, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are, but thank you for tuning in. Matt Waddell, thanks. So y'all have a great night. If I missed you, I appreciate your support. And y'all have a good night.